You know, placebos are shockingly effective, right? You give somebody sugar pill and say, oh, this is like the latest trial drug, you should try it. It's going to not only cure your health problems, but you're going to be stronger and you can run faster or something like that. The more you exaggerate, the patient is going to go home thinking that he's going to be completely cured. Right? So it's always a problem for the drug companies to outdo the placebo. So here's a drug company, I don't know, they say like phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 is a human trial?
Phase 4 is human.
Okay. So I guess it's at the stage of phase 4 or something. Usually a lot smaller than that, but I just made it bigger because if you don't want to have something less than 30, then you have to think about the t-distribution. We can't do that. So our sample size is pretty big. That means we can just go with the normal distribution. All right. So try this. Because this is a hypothesis testing, definitely you have to calculate P1 and P2. But you also have to calculate P hat and Q hat. And these values are pooled values. Okay, so to get P hat, you have to add these two over these two. Okay? That's your P hat. The pooled proportion. Number 1, what's H0?
P1 minus P2 equals 0.
What's H1? Let's say P1 is the first one, okay? This time I want to make it easier.
P1 minus P2 is greater than 0.
Yeah. That's what we want, right? Okay. What's the rejection region? We do right tail, right? Because it's greater, with 0.04 on the right side, right here. Okay?
So do you use inverse norm for that one? Inverse norm for that?
Okay, so there are two ways to figure out this critical value, okay? We name this as Z alpha, okay? So you have, you can do inverse norm of 0.04. 0.1. What do you get if you do that? You get negative
1.75.
1.75? Okay. But Z is on the positive side. 0 is at the center, right? So what's going on? Well, this really tells you the critical value if the area is left of it, right? So that's why this is negative 1.75. Therefore, our Z alpha must be positive 1.75. That's one way to do it. So you can say that Z alpha is positive 1.75. Or another way to do it is, see, if this is your critical value and this is 0.04, what's the left side of Z alpha?
0.96.
0.96. So you could also do inverse norm of 1 minus 0.04, 0.1, and you just get 1.75 that way. Okay? So if you understand that what we are looking for is the critical number that produces the correct area, then you should understand why these two both give you the same answer. Okay? So either way, you get Z alpha equals to 1.75. Okay, now you have to calculate the Z statistic, test statistic. And for that, we need to find P1, P2, P hat, Q hat. Okay, so let's do P1 hat. This is 511 over 720. What do you get?
0.7097.
Okay. How about this next one? This is 292 over 688. This is?
0.4244.
That's a drastic difference. I think we're going to be able to prove it. Okay? Now the pooled proportion would be, it's 511 plus 292 divided by 720 plus 688. You pull both samples together and you treat that as the same thing because we're pretending that they have the same probability, right? So what is that?
0.5703.
0.5703, okay, good. And then Q hat would be 1 minus that, so 1 minus P hat, which is 0.4297, right? Okay, so now we can calculate the test statistic here. Z would be P1 hat minus P2 hat minus P1 minus P2 divided by square root of P hat, which is 0.5703 times Q. Let's just multiply this. So what was P hat times Q hat? 0.2 what?
2451.
5. Okay. So that's the value that we're going to use. PQ 0.2451 divided by 720 plus 0.2451 divided by 688. That's the value that we have to use. Okay, so the first one, we have to subtract these two. That's going to be 3 and 5 and 8 and 2. 2853. So 0.2853 minus 0 divided by, what do you have?
0.0261. 0261.
Oh, 0.026. Oh, that's a big number, right? That's like what?
10.81.
No,
10.
14.
10.81.
10 point something, right?
81.
10.81.
10.81. Oh, okay, yeah. Good, good. So that's way, way on the right side. That's like much bigger than 1.75. So this is indeed in the rejection region. Since it's in the rejection region, what do we say? What's our conclusion number 4?
The drug is effective.
Yeah, so we have to say two things. First, since 10.81 is in the rejection region, we reject the null hypothesis, page 0, and accept that the drug is more effective than the placebo. Okay, so that's our conclusion.